Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, the recording has started. Okay. Good morning. Like I mentioned, Ganesh, so we will be reviewing it. We'll be going through this. Maybe I'll share my screen as well. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Nirmal, I'm able to see your screen.
Okay. So. Okay. So in this meeting, what we will be going through is the day one of this. I have divided this whole training into 6 different days, and we will extend it or will extend it on for more days if required. Uh, the whole training would consist of the day one where we will be, going to the B2B commerce, what it is, why do we use Salesforce and so on, that kind of thing. We will set up the environment, the initial commerce, install the initial commerce component and, enable the digital experiences. And that would mean that you will have an org ready with the B2B commerce, where we can do, the rest of the store creation and all that. We will also go through some of the commerce app navigation, and I will go through one of the different workspaces that are available, and we'll also take you through one of the existing site, how B2B commerce looks like. So that will be the day one's agenda. For day two, next day, we will go through the data model. It is very important for you to understand, how the uh, different entities work together in this. So we will go through different terminologies. For example, what are buyer group, stores, blah blah. So many other things. We'll go through the different objects, store, pricing card. So overall, you will get an idea of what all objects are involved in this. Then we will also go through the hands-on exercise where we will start doing the deployment of the storefront. So basically creating a store. So initially what you will need is, the product and category setup. Then we will set up the pricing configuration. We will also do the bulk load of these product and price lists, and I will take the data from the existing site and give it to you so that you understand, how the Excels or CSVs are done. Generally, what happens is in B2B commerce, right? So there will be like 300,000 products or something. It won't be like, 10 or 20 that you can create from your, one by one. So generally, these bulk load tactics are used wherein you can bulk import or export all of these data. That we will go through. Yeah. And then we will also review some personas, profile, and permission sets. So what that means is what are different users that will use this tool, right? The B2B commerce. So some of them are like buyers. What are the buyer managers? Who are the account switchers? So those kind of things, and how do you set up these things in Salesforce? Then the day three. So once you have it, you basically will have a store with the data in it. Then on day three, we will go through some of the CMS content. CMS is basically content management system. What that is let's say you have a product, right? But you will need the images on that. So where those images are set up. So those are set up in CMS. You can have either Salesforce CMS or some other external CMS. But here we will be using the Salesforce CMS where you can refer the product images or category images or the attachments and so on. We will see in detail how that are used in conjunction with B2B commerce. Then I will also go through the code repository on where you can take these codes from and how you can modify. And I don't know if you already have some experience on VS Code. If not, then we'll go together and do this setup. Then we will do the storefront deployment. So we started with the deployment and created the product price lists. But then there are other things as well. For example, setting up the category hierarchy and integrations. So there are four basic integrations that you will have to set up. One is called text. So whenever the product is sold, so there's some tax is put into it. So how does the tax gets calculated? So all of these are like integration. You will be calling some integration APIs. We'll be using the out of box one, but you will get some idea on if required. Every company will have their own taxation system. Some use SAP, some use some other ERP systems, and so on. But the whole idea is how you will integrate from B2B to this, and what files that will be used here. That we will go through. Similarly, we will go through the pricing, inventory, payment gateway setups, and finally we will activate the storefront. So activating storefront means you can go and log in and make changes there. You can see the whole products and so on. And once we have gone through that, we will go to the Experience Cloud. So Salesforce provides a UI tool wherein you can, drag drop components or make your changes as you desire with Experience Cloud. Earlier, it was used to call communities, and prior to that, it was sites. But yeah, they keep changing the terminology, but it is like Experience Cloud. Uh, so what we will see is what are the components that are available with this commerce template, right? So every template will have their own components. What you can use here, we will see how you can customize the home page and product pages. We will customize the menu items, for example, and maybe add some order related customizations like quick order on the home page. We will talk about SEO. SEO is the site of whenever you are searching in the search engine optimization, whenever you are searching something on a particular site, right? So some data gets so how Google or any other search engine searches is faster. So what are the techniques that are used for doing the SEO? Then branding and personalization. So what that means is, so for B2B, it is important, every contact or every locale, right? So one site in, let's say in US will not be the same as one site in UK, right? So they may have some page variation. So how do we do that page variation audience settings that we will talk through? Then there are a few product concepts that will go through, like purchase quantity rules. So basically what it means is, like if you want to give some discount, right? For 1 to 10, if you purchase, then discount will be 10%. For 10 to 20, if you purchase some product, it will be 20%. So those kind of rules we will see. Then we'll talk about externally managed account on day 4, some hands-on exercise on configuring the product variation and product sets. The product variation is, whenever you search for a particular product, for example, a t-shirt, right? So there could be multiple variations of that t-shirt. Like it could be, color variation or size variation, medium, large, and so on. So how do we, so it's not that, you will create multiple different products for each of them. So how someone wants to search a t-shirt only, and then they can, dive deep into the variation. That's what we will set up. Then we'll talk about production, promotions and discount. So finally, once everything is done, right, you have checked out where is this data going to. So it is going to create an order. So now we will talk about the order summary and create and update pages. So how do we see order summary page in Salesforce? That we will talk about. Generally, what happens is after this also, the order is created in Salesforce, but they would like it to integrate it to some other system like ERP. In the real world, that's what happens. Um, like you will send this order or code to your partner, right? Like ERP or SAP or whatever the financial system that particular company is using. So that's what we will talk about. Then guest user flows. So guest user is a user who is anonymous. For example, you don't have a login or password, but you still want to get into the system or launch that particular site that you have created. By default, it won't be allowing you, but how you will set up this to make the guest user log into it. So that's what we will see. Generally in B2B parlance, this guest user is not that much used because it's for a specific customer, and the pricing also would be based on a specific customer. But so you don't want to reveal that data or pricing to everyone. So, but there are strategies on handling that as well. So that's what we will see in the guest user flows. Then next day would be for going through the advanced concepts, which is like pricing strategies. We will talk about like how do we set up different, what are the different pricing strategies we have, what are the licenses that we have, and then we will see how do you make code customizations, where the code resides, and talk a little bit on the reporting and analytics. And finally, on last day, we will talk about some admin and developer certification questions. And I have gone through the certification, so I will give you, some tips what questions you can expect there. I don't know if you are interested in that, but yeah, just to give you an
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, I'm interested, Nirmal. Yeah.
Okay, so this would be the whole thing. Ultimately, the gist of all that is you should be able to create a site, working site, and all the features that are provided by B2B Commerce on Salesforce that you should be able to implement and know where to make the code changes. We may not be doing the code changes itself, but you should know, how do we get the codes into your VS Code or VS Code where you will be implementing it. There is no other tool that we generally use. So VS Code is the Salesforce preferred nowadays. So that's all we will be going through in the training. If there is, it's not hard and fast that day 6 is there. So if there are a few other things that you want to cover, we will go to the, or maybe we are not able to complete it in a day, something, then we will go to the next day. So that would be the whole thing. Hope this
Okay.
makes sense.
Like, are you going to give any assignments to me, like device
Yeah,
assignment?
yeah, I will give you these. These are the hands-on exercises that we will, go together. And also, I will send you a PDF document with the same thing. You may want to do it together with me, or you can do it on your own later as well. Up to you. But yeah, I will give you those details on these assignments or the hands-on exercises.
Sure, sure. Anything is fine to me, Nirmal. I'm okay with. Suppose if I'm environment set of hands-on experience, right? Whatever I have shared that answer, like the targ, right? I am,
Yeah,
yeah. Can I open the targ or
no,
how
let's
to?
talk through a little bit of theoretical stuff first, and then we can go to the org and move on to the day one's idea.
Sure, sure.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, actually, what happened? Na, in this, my current targ commerce option was not showing. Okay, that's why we are practicing in the trailhead playground.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll have it. Not a
Okay,
problem.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, so like we were discussing, right? Salesforce B2B commerce. So just want to talk about myself. So I have 18 years of industry experience. I started my career as a Java developer. So I have that technical mindset, and I understand how the developers look and where do they look for, and when you want to debug things, what you need to do. So specifically telling you how you want to code, that's what you are looking for. But yeah, that's what I will be aiming for you to understand as well. I also have 7+ years of experience on Salesforce platform. From managing a team of 8 people in Verifone, I moved to Amazon, and then right now I'm working with Nasdaq. So that's what where we are establishing a commerce practice. So that's what we have. And now I also have
You worked
seven.
on Verifone. It's Verifone is the payment integration, right?
Not integration, yeah, it's a payment domain company, but it does not have any gateway.
Okay. Yeah, one of the
Uh,
project we have worked on the Verifone. Yeah.
okay. I'm 7 times Salesforce certified. B2B commerce I did last month only. But I have, others like PD1, PD2. I have app developer. Then there is visibility analysis, visibility, that one. So I have those kind of certification. Total of 7 certifications I have. So that's about me.
Really
Well,
great, actually, Nirmal. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, let's talk about B2B commerce. So what is B2B commerce, right? So generally, we have two different flavors, although there are multiple variants of it as well. For example, uh, B2B2C also is there. Then nowadays it is coming to B2X as well. But generally, what we are mostly thinking here is a B2B and B2C. So B2B commerce is basically for the business to business. So and generally it is used for large volume purchases, right? You are not buying
Hello.
one by one. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Audible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
Okay. So yeah, what I was saying is, yeah, B2B commerce is basically for large volume purchases, right? And that businesses do. Purchase online. It's not like, in Amazon you go and purchase one product. That's not B2B. That would be a B2C where you target directly to the customer. Here it's you can consider is like, you have a company and you want to you want to have some service from other company. Let's say Ola or Uber, right? So because you want some taxi services to be used. So you hire that services from that particular company, like in this case, Ola or Uber, or you are Uber, right? So that's what here B2B, B2C comes. So you are buying from a business and the purchase would be like, in large quantity. So that's what it means. And in B2C, you will be purchasing directly or selling it directly to the customer, not the end user. So,
yeah.
right. So, what does it mean from technical standpoint? Like when you are talking about B2B and when you are talking about B2C, so what are you expecting in that whatever tool you are going to build? So the difference will be coming in contract pricing and catalog. What that means is, let's say you are a big customer or you are a premier customer for me, right? So your pricing will be different then a customer who just recently came up and you are only purchasing once in a while, so that pricing will be different. So the pricing depends on who is the buyer, right? So that kind of segmentation, it is called customer segmentation. So that segmentation is what is required in B2B, right? And that will not be needed in B2C, because in B2C every customer is same. You can't give one thing to a different price than to the other one. So here it becomes like a little tricky that you need to have that account based pricing, or it is called contract pricing. And catalog also may differ. For example, you may want to sell a specific type of products only to these particular accounts, not to everyone. So that kind of thing also you can do in B2B, and which does not happen in B2C, because in B2C everything is same. All the customers are same.
Yeah.
You should be having the ability to purchase in bulk. It's not like you will be buying, one or two of a particular product. So you should be able to purchase, hundreds of those products together. And based on that, what will happen is obviously you will need to give different kind of discounts and so on. So that's what B2B commerce changes from what B2C is. You should have the ability of quick reordering. So now I created a product, a cart with 100 of one product, 200 of second product, and so on. And now I don't want to do that same thing all over again. So I should have some ability to quick reorder, right? So that's one other thing. And this, hello,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes, Nirmal, I'm able to hear you.
okay. Then we have restricted access control. So restricted access control means not every account need to see every other's account. So I like the data or pricing may be different for one account to other. So you don't want to, show your pricing to other account as well, because they will start asking why not this thing is given to me and so on. So That's something, so that's called entitlement, right? What you want to view for a particular customer. Then
Yeah.
you should
Okay.
have easy customization on B2B portal. So the B2B portal that you are creating, you should be able to easily customize it so that, tomorrow a new product comes, you should be able to, manage it easily without making too many, code changes and so on. So it will be quick. Then you should be able to share your shopping cart. So there should be some feature wherein, let's say I am a manager, right? So I should be able to see the someone else's cart or the carts of all the customers together. So that persona is called buyer manager, which allows me to share the shopping carts, right? So I should be able to see the shopping carts of other users as well. Then
Okay.
there's some functionality for quote management. Although this is so once you create the order basically, or the cart as you are selling it, right? So you checked out, but then after that what happens? So there should be some processing after that. Now, basically you created the order, you need to be able to create an order and then process it further. Processing may happen in some other third party system like SAP or some other financial system. But you should have some capability to manage what the customer has purchased somewhere to store that information. Then you will have some digital payment options. So when you are obviously, right, you are purchasing something, so you need to have some purchase order or some other way like credit card. All those things should be available there. Then you should have some option of maintaining the product information. So that is called product information management. Like, product generally have their own life cycle. So whenever it is introduced, then, it will go to the next page and so on. So that status is should be managed. Generally, this data also is not stored it could be stored in Salesforce, but master of that information, most of the cases, it would be some other system like SAP. So they will be, sending this data to Salesforce to store it and do the processing or some other some other things that you want to enable based on that. So these are the things that differentiate B2C from B2B. So I'm telling you because these will come when to give you a deeper understanding of why we are doing in things B2B in a certain way, and why do you need a separate B2B commerce portal than B2C. Salesforce has two different things. Why do they have two different things? So that's why I wanted to take you through this.
Okay.
I hope.
So here, yeah, you can cover like a contract quote. Also, you can cover, right? Both things.
Yeah, I will take you through the processing, but like I said, so this order summary is the main page. So what order summary is basically when whatever you have checked out, right, after processing, so that will come to the order summary. So that's where it will come, and yeah, you can take it to the next steps. We will go through that order. How do we process that particular order?
Okay.
Yeah, so now these were the features that you need in a B2B commerce solution, right? But then how is Salesforce giving you this? One second. These things. Okay. Yeah. So Salesforce, how it supports is by providing the personalized customer journeys. So you will have a concept of buyers, which are actually who are going to buy the product, and then there will be the buyer groups, which will give you, and based on that you can personalize that particular customer. So a customer will be part of a buyer group. So based on that buyer group, you can segregate, different catalogs or products. Which product will belong to this particular customer? You can customize that, and also that will also define your pricing. So a particular buyer group, can have multiple accounts, and then you can have a different buyer group with different accounts. So let's say you have a premier customer, so that premier customer will be grouping a certain set of accounts, and the other, let's say, gold customer, that will have a different set of accounts, and based on those accounts each one can have a different pricing strategy. So that's how Salesforce supports it. You have catalog and product management. So product management was already there without B2B commerce as well. And generally the CPQ and other products of Salesforce, they enrich it. So you already will have this information, and someone who is already having Salesforce in their system for sales and other things, so they can or order management, for example. So for that they will already have this information of products. So what we provide here is how do you manage this catalog. Catalog is basically a catalog provides a list of things that you want to sell, right? So it's a group of products or category of products, you can say. So yeah, then it provides an extensible options for your tax, inventory, shipping, and payment services. What that means is you can have one integration with tax today, but you let's say the things change and your financial system got changed to something else, then you can easily switch that option in the tax in the settings itself. You obviously need to have to write some codes, but the option would be on the UI itself to switch that particular option. Then you can leverage the power of CMS. Like I told you, CMS is content management system where you can have those blog kind of things, or let's say a product has big description, or you want to add a few additional fields. All those kind of things is maintained in CMS, and that you can tag it to a particular product. Then you will have the localization capability. So localization is important when you are selling your product in multiple, let's say, countries. So they need to have this localization. There is a concept called market as well, which has come up in the last release. So market is nothing but it automatically giving you this localization capabilities, wherein you will get a bar at the bottom where you can choose a different language, and based on that you can either change the UI or make other decisions based on that. Then by default it's mobile ready, right? So Experience Cloud, anything you make it becomes mobile ready. So yeah, that will already be there. Then
So
reporting.
here,
Yeah.
like a mobile publisher is there, right? Mobile publisher concept. Just need to enable something, then like
No.
we can get the Android and mobile apps related things actually.
It is
Like you
different.
don't.
So mobile publisher is it's something different tool, but by default, whenever you create, so there are two things, right? One is creating an app, and one is creating a site. So when what I'm talking about is more mobile ready user interface, it means is, whenever you create an Experience Cloud site, that site itself is mobile ready. So you can open it in the mobile, and its form factor and all those things are taken care of. You don't need to worry about that. The thing
Got it.
that we're talking about is creating a mobile app, which is a different thing.
You mean to say responsive design? It is a responsive design for the
Yeah,
mobile
yeah,
as well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a responsive design. Actually, you can see how it will look in the mobile or in tablet in the Experience Cloud itself. Um,
Okay.
Yeah, and you will have the reporting and dashboarding capabilities, which are basically the Salesforce out-of-box capabilities. Once you go to the data model and understand, how the entities are built up, you can create your own report and dashboard. But there are, I think, 3 reports that Salesforce provides, which will go through. Then declarative customization. So most of the changes that you want to do in a B2B commerce to create a site, right? You don't really need any developer except for the integration part. So integration is where the development is required, because obviously every customer will have a different sort of, let's say, tax system or inventory system, right? So you can't have a API for that. So you need to be
Yeah.
able to customize that. But other than that, let's say for UI, you want to do if you don't have any fancy requirement, you can do all those customer. This is something given out of box. You can use out of box component, but generally people have their own set of changes that they want to do. So that declarative customization is provided. For example, on the product detail screen, right? You want to add a new field on the product, which is specific to your company. and you want to show it on the UI. So that is, you don't need to do any development for it. It's just a simple declarative change. But if you want to have, a different component, or your company is saying, I want to get this data from a Salesforce blog or some other blog, so those kind of things probably will need a customization or a different lightning component that you can, include in your codes or in your page. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is how, basically Salesforce supports all those things by providing all these things. Earlier, I think Demandware was the tool for B2C. Right now, B2C
B2C, yeah.
also they are trying to migrate to the same platform. So after, I think, few releases, B2C commerce will also come in the Experience Cloud itself.
Oh my
I,
God.
I believe that's how they will be going through, because Salesforce, they want to make everything seamless. So B2B also commerce was also earlier different. So they had a different product wherein
It's a cloud craze, right? It is a cloud craze.
yeah, exactly. The cloud craze. So 2016, Salesforce bought it, and they changed it to, this UI. So the same thing. So
Got it.
earlier
Yeah.
with cloud craze, what used to happen is, just to tell you, right? So in CloudGrail, since it was a managed package, so managed package in the sense, what it means is basically you are a ISV partner of Salesforce, then you create your own package and sell it in the Apex sheet. So that's what CloudGrail was doing by providing these services. So now what they did was sales. So when you are doing it, you can't modify the standard objects, right? So what they did was they created their own. So you will have a price book in Salesforce, then they will have a cloud craze price book. Then you have CC product, then you have a normal product. So there was duplication of everything. Now all that got removed after in a couple of releases back, and now we are using the standard objects only for everything. So that's how things change. So from cloud
Got
craze.
it. Got it. Something like a suppose product pricing we are maintaining in the Salesforce and as well as maintaining in the cloud craze system as well, right?
Yeah, that's how we were doing it. But now, since CloudCrage is taken over by Salesforce, so what they did, what now we're doing is in the new product, everything is in the one place, which is in the standard object itself. So that was a change. Although the functionality more or less remains the same. I mean, they try to give all the features, but using the Lightning and the Lightning component in Experience Cloud.
Okay.
I believe that same path B2C will also go in a few years.
Okay, here, right? Yeah, I have seen that like we can create B2B site and as well as B2C. But in Salesforce Commerce Cloud, right? Like we have like a PWA kit currently. This is the one latest version for us actually. Like headless
Yeah,
commerce is going
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's a future, so keep you never know what will go on. All right. So what we talked about was, we have different set of products in Salesforce. We can ask for quote using the CPQ or some other system. So generally, from product you from B2B site, you will create a quote, and what they do is, let's say you have a some other company, so they will or SAP integration, right? So SAP, you will give the quote, and from that code processing will happen in SAP itself. So that and what you will do is basically when you are checking out, you will create a you will call the API to create a code. So that's something the flow in real world happens. Then you
Okay.
will have option of checking out and payment like ACH, credit card, and so on. And that also depends on company to company. Some company just work on purchase order itself. Purchase order is a other.
Here one question. Suppose there is a suppose $1 lakh they need to pay. Okay,
Mm.
it's not small amount, right? That time they will do something like a
Yeah,
real
that's
time, like either a check
no.
or something, right? Yeah.
No, that's something called purchase order, right? So there are two options for that. One is called purchase order. So what that means is you already would have bought it somewhere, in some other system, your financial system, and that thing you will have. So the purchase order number is you need to provide there. The other option is in every buyer account you can have a option of the limit, credit limit, right? How much you can purchase for. So that you can set, and from that you can do.
Okay.
Then you have personalized content, like we talked about, using the, without any coding, you can do it on the Experience Cloud. Then you have track orders. You can track these order in the order summary pages. So you can,
And OMS kind of thing here, like a order management system.
yeah, so
So
there's a separate product for Salesforce called Salesforce Order Management. So, which is not part of this. Here we will just create the order. How that order gets processed, it can be like a Salesforce order management, but generally what happens is it goes outside to the financial systems, like I mentioned, and like SAP.
okay.
I think I need to join. Just give me a minute.
Yeah,
It's
sure. Go
taking
ahead.